Hey guys, Skinny Pigs 1. So I just wanted to do some updates and talk about a few things while I was doing my nighttime routine. So the number one thing I wanted to share was I came home from work just probably a couple hours ago now, and I came downstairs like I always do just to check out what everybody's up to and stuff. And I noticed Angus looked like he was having a hard time chewing and a hard time like getting hay in his mouth. So it was really weird. So I was watching him and he kept doing like a motion like he had something stuck in his mouth. So I kept thinking, okay, he'll get it out, because you've all seen it before where they're kind of stretching their mouth funny and looking like they're moving their tongue along the side of their mouth trying to get something out. But he wasn't getting anything out. And then anytime he was trying to... You've got to have this. This is his glucose mean. Here, bud. Good boy. Hey. Hey, little turd. Thank you. I know it tastes yucky. So, anyway, what was I saying? Oh, he was trying to eat a piece of hay, and like he couldn't even get hay in his mouth, and he kept letting it drop out. So I called my vet to make an appointment, and I took him out, and I was trying to look in his mouth. And if you're ever trying to look in a guinea pig's mouth, they have obviously their top two incisors on the, and then their bottom ones, and that's what you can see. You can't see the molars in the back, and they have very fatty cheeks. So I got a syringe and was putting that in his mouth to try to like separate his mouth a bit. And then I could see something that looked beige in his mouth. So I was like, okay, there's definitely something stuck in there. So I was looking a little farther and I was like, that looks like a piece of a chew toy. So then it was really hard to do with one hand, and I had to try about 7 or 8 times. But finally I found this in his mouth. So it was looped, say this is his tongue, it was in the back, looped like this. And I could just barely get my syringe in here and flipped it right out of his mouth. And I could not believe that this was what was stuck in his mouth. So it was on either side of his tongue and down pretty deep. And I was so nervous, but I had to get it out, because once I noticed it there, I was like, I have to get this out now, because he was having a hard time eating. And I was trying to like get it a whole bunch of times, and oh, it was scary, and I was like all nervous and shaky. And then once I got it out, it took a while for me to calm down, just because I was like, he could have choked on that, and oh, it was terrible feeling, terrible. So he is okay now, and then I put him back in his cage and made sure that it looked like he was eating normal. And I canceled the vet appointment that we had made. But oh my goodness. So that is a piece of a chew toy, which he chews chew toys like obsessively, like just loves to tear them apart. So I took them all out of the cage for him. He is the craziest little kid though. Last year he had the piece of hay that was stuck in his ear canal that he had to be sedated and had that taken out. He's the one who jumped right up here on the cage, why I put plexiglass. And then now he's had a huge piece of a chew toy stuck in his mouth. Like, my goodness. It's just like having a little kid, I think, with freaking you out. Sorry, Bullseye. I just touched his bum accidentally. Oh, so that was crazy. Just crazy. This is a reason why you always need to check on your pets all the time. And you need to get used to what looks normal for them. You need to watch them eat. Everything like that. You really have to pay attention. Because I watch them really, really closely. Oh, do you need your pellets, bud? So when things are off, I can usually tell right away. So I had only been watching him for a few seconds when I came home from work. And then right away was like, okay, why are you eating funny? I'm so glad I noticed. It just makes me feel sick to my stomach thinking that he could have choked on that, because that was a huge piece. Hey, bud. You did a little binky. Are you happy? Your pellets are right here, buddy. You, bud. Okay. So, yeah. The next update is going to be about Bun, Seymour. So he had a piece of his nose scab fall off, and we were actually able to send it away for the biopsy. And then we got the results back last week. I did share that on my Facebook, but if you're not on my Facebook, you won't know. It's most likely melanoma, which is cancer. And then that brings up a whole debate about what you should do next. So my vet looked into a bunch of research and case studies with rabbits having cancer, that type of cancer. And she read that even with treatment, with or without treatment, it ended up popping up somewhere else. So even the rabbits that had the cancer removed or had radiation done and stuff like that, they still ended up getting cancer somewhere else. So now Seymour, since he has the heart issue, we would have to take him to go for a heart test at a different vet. It's a veterinarian college, actually. And then if he passed that, then he could get the lump, like the scab or whatever you want to call it, removed. But he's a huge risk for surgery because of his heart issue. And then the thing with him getting that removed, the location of it, when you're removing cancer, you need to have good margins, meaning you take the cancer and along with it a whole bunch of healthy tissue to make sure that you've got absolutely everything. Where his spot is, there's hardly any skin to work with already, so the chances that they could get it all, like get even all the cancer, is not good. And it's right near his nose, so you can't damage their nose. If a rabbit can't smell things properly, they won't eat. And rabbits, just like guinea pigs, breathe through their nose, sorry. So if you did any damage to his nose, it would affect his breathing. So, bottom line is, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to do anything. Surgery's not safe for him with his heart condition, and then even if we did chance that, like if they said, hey, you remove it all and he's going to be good, I would probably take that chance. But the thing is, we could do that and it doesn't really mean anything because they can't get enough of it taken away. And it's just going to come back somewhere else, and we would be putting him through the stress of driving to this veterinarian college, which is a long ways away. And then plus, it's not just surgery to remove it. You'd have to do radiation treatments. And you can't explain to a small pet what you're doing. And the thing is, if we were to do all of these things and they said then he'd be fixed, he'd be cured, I would probably do it. But the fact that we could do all this, stress him out, risk his life, not even get the proper amount of skin taken away, and it still is there, or it'll just come back, it's just not worth it, because I do not want the rest of his whatever amount of time he has left to be just filled with stress. That doesn't sound fun to me, because I would totally regret if, let's say he only has a year left. Let's say most of that year was spent back and forth to the vets, going through like stuff that's painful and uncomfortable, just spending time in car rides and having a sore nose or having complications. That would break my heart to know that he didn't even get to enjoy the last year of his life. So what we're going to be doing is, as I said, we're just leaving it be, and I'm not going to put him through a pointless surgery since we can't do it. If it was on his body, somewhere very easy to get at, I would do it in a heartbeat because I know they'd have a lot of skin to work with. But then again, like even that, I can't say we'd do it in a heartbeat because he still has that heart condition that plays a factor, but I would definitely think about it a lot more. Because like the spot it is, there's just nothing to work with. You can't just remove everything from his nose where he's breathing. So that's pretty much that, guys. It sucks big time, and I just try not to think too hard about it because we've done what we can. We tried all the other different treatments, and then we were finally able to get that piece for the biopsy, and it's not the answer we were looking for. And it wasn't 100% that this is cancer for sure, but all the markers were pointing towards melanoma. So can we hope that it's still something incredibly random and weird and falls off one day? Kind of. I can kind of hope for that. But right now he's healthy otherwise. So I'm not going to be putting him through anything ridiculous and crazy when the outcome is not going to be, you're fixed, you're cured. Because I've put pigs through risky surgeries when it came to bladder stones. But that was because you do the surgery, you get the stone out. That's their second chance at life. For Seymour, you do the surgery, you risk his life right off the bat. You do the surgery, you hurt his nose badly, and they can't even get it all. And then if you were to do radiation, you'd be hurting him, stressing him out. And when they said, basically, you could do all that and it's still going to come back, or it's going to come back somewhere else. Why? Why do that to him? So, anyway, hopefully you guys can respect that. As I said, if it was do this and he's cured, yes please. But since it's do all of this super stressful, painful, harmful, long drawn out things, and he'll probably still have cancer, or cancer will just pop up somewhere else, no, not doing it. So for Seymour, the things my vet said to look out for would be if he's not eating properly, and then if he started to lose weight, or sorry, just had a hiccup, or if he started to show that he was having troubles breathing, then we would need to bring him in to be assessed to see if maybe the cancer has spread, because it could go to his heart, his lungs, his organs. So if he got to the point where something else is popping up, then he will go to the vet to get an x-ray, because then that would show if there's any cancer spots showing up anywhere else, and then we'd have to make a decision from there. So that's a gloomy update, but as I said, you never know, right? He could live like a whole pile more years with this spot. Maybe it'll stay pretty contained within his nose. I have no idea. And then, as I said, there's still that tiny % of a chance that it's not melanoma. So I don't know, guys. All I can tell you is we're just going to let him live out his life and just be happy and no stress of doing painful, harmful, stressful things to him. It sucks, basically, being right back to square one of not knowing what to do or not having anything to do with his nose. And it kind of sucked that it wasn't 100%, that it wasn't like, it is this for sure, because there's still always that like, oh, what if it does fall off, but then I don't want to kid myself that it's going to fall off. So we'll just take it one day at a time, and as I said, right now he's happy and playful and energetic and loves being pet and playing with my husband or I. Like, he's a very interactive guy most of the time, unless he's in his mood of he just wants to do whatever he wants to do. But most of the time Bun's pretty interactive and comes when you call him and likes to sit there and be pet, or I toss toys around for him and he tosses them around, picks them up, throws them. He's a fun bunny, and I hope that we can have him for many more years. He's 6. Well, he's over 6 now. He was 6 in January. And a lot of rabbits nowadays are living to be close to like 9 and 10. And I know the bunnies of the burrow, she has one of her rabbits is 11. So I would love if Seymour could definitely have a bunch more years with us. But it's just like anything in life, you never know. So you just have to enjoy all the time that you have together. And I'm going to do my best not to let stuff about his nose bother me every single day. It's hard because it's really noticeable. But after talking it over with my vet and my husband and other family members, and even everybody on Facebook, when I had posted about it, everybody was in agreement saying that his quality of life in the end is going to mean a lot more than putting him through stuff that's not going to get him anywhere. So, yeah. And the weather right now here in Canada is just ridiculous. So, middle of April, and we had a huge ice storm just this weekend. I got home from work and I had to go out get groceries. It was super windy that day. And my husband and I got our groceries, got home, and about half an hour later it started freezing rain, like hardcore freezing rain, just everything instantly freezing. And we couldn't leave the house until Monday. So I was really nervous about the pets, about if the power went out. I have enough fleece that I could really make the cages cozy, but I still worry for the naked guys. Luckily it didn't. It flickered out 4 times Sunday morning, which then messed up my portable heater that usually sits here. I sent it over to my dad's house. He's really handy with fixing things, so he's taking a look at it, and Mom had messaged me saying that it's working now. But at the time, it had ended up cutting out to where it would just be on high power, full blast, non-stop, where usually I had it set to come on to keep the room 22 degrees. So I was really ticked off about that because you can't have it plugged into a power bar. I have lost one air purifier from power going out before I started plugging it into a power bar. But for the heater, it said you have to plug it into the main plug in the house. I don't know what the reasoning is for safety or something. I have no idea. So anyway, I was really ticked off when the power was going out and on and off. And then I was like, yep, sure enough, it just fried it. So hopefully it is good as new. That would be awesome. But that really bothered me. And then the power, other than flickering on and off, it stayed on. So I was so thankful. The other thing I did, since if the power had went off, we'd need water, I filled up a ton of jugs of water because I wouldn't want, to run out of water for the pets. So then my husband was, half laughing at me because on the counter I had just every jug I could find filled up with filtered water, and then a whole bunch of jugs filled up for water for us. And then we didn't even need it. And he was like, well, I guess you better start drinking some water. So we still have some happening up there. I put a bunch of it in the fridge just to keep using it as I need it, but it was kind of a lot of extra water. But if the power had gone out, I would have been so glad that I had lots of water. Because it's not just my husband and I to worry about. We've got 10 little guys down here that would need it. Hey, cutie. So that's our updates. We had our scary one, our sad one, and my annoying one. So leave comments or questions down below, and in regards to Seymour, please know that we discussed everything in great length about what was best and appropriate for him, and 100% think it's the most appropriate to just let him be as happy as he can for as long as he can, since we do not have a fix, a quick fix, a safe fix. Just nothing was reasonable, nothing was safe, and nothing was guaranteed. So, yeah. It sucks, big time. But I'm just thankful that for right now he's happy and normal. Everybody enjoying their hay. Hey, cuties. Little sweeties. Hey, baby. Oh, sweetie. Hi, baby Reese. What are you doing? Hi, baby Reese. What are you playing? Here. Take it. Do you want it? You're so cute. Alright. Bye, guys.